I used to be horrible at public speaking, but after practicing for almost over a year, I 10x my public speaking abilities. No joke. So if you were like me and were shy and afraid to speak in public, today I'm going to give you my 3 key tips to take your public speaking abilities from noob to pro. Let's get it. Recent studies show that the first impression is made even before you speak. It's when you walk into a room. 2 psychologists out of Princeton, for example, concluded that it only takes a tenth of a second to form a first impression. Body language is arguably the most important part of public speaking. We've always heard about first impressions. Well, creating a good first impression is critical for leaving a lasting impression on your audience. It is crucial that your body language is positive, as that will be the audience's impression of you, which ultimately leads to whether they listen to you or not. So, what is positive body language? Well, here are some examples of bad body language. First, we have body tension, arms folded, speaking hand to your mouth, fidgeting, and yawning. All of these will make the listener not want to listen and will push them away from you. But here are some examples of good body language. We have relaxed posture, arms relaxed, good eye contact, nodding agreement, smiling at humor, leaning closer, and using gestures. Body language is not only for the listeners. Having good, positive body language helps the speaker create a good environment for themselves and more confidence. Towards the beginning of my school year, when I gave a speech, I did pretty much every single bad body language habit there was. I crossed my arms, I put my hand to my mouth, I started yawning, I fidgeted, I swayed from side to side. But after practice and trying to implement these ideas of good body language habits, I ultimately improved. And when I did, my confidence skyrocketed. I felt like I could speak in front of anyone. I felt like I could speak in front of the whole school. And now I'm speaking in front of the whole internet. So here's your actionable step. Try to implement at least one body language habit and try to take away at least one bad body language habit, whether it be smiling more and taking away fidgeting, whether it be making better eye contact and keeping your hand away from your mouth. Try to implement one and take away one. From the sound of your voice, listeners will make judgments about you and your credibility. They'll decide how you feel about them and the message you're presenting, regardless of how you do, just from the sound of your voice. So, voice can be broken down into 4 categories: pitch, volume, rhythm, timbre. Now, I'm going to give you one tip for each of these 4 categories. Pitch is the frequency of the sound in which you emit. It is about hitting high or low notes with your words. So let's say, for example, you're a type of person who ends every sentence on a high pitch as if you're asking a question. This will lower your credibility. This will make you seem like you don't know what you're speaking about. Let's say you were giving a presentation about sharks and you ended every sentence on a high pitch. So let's say, for example, you said, yes, for some sharks live for up to 100 years. Some sharks live for almost 50 years. Did you know about that? That some sharks live for 100 years? But if you end every sentence on on a low note, then you will sound more credible. So let's say sharks live for 100 years. Sharks live for 50 years. Regardless of your contradictory statements, you sounded like you knew what you're talking about when you ended on a lower note. So, here's your actionable step. Try to end statements on a lower note, as that will make you sound more credible. Oh shit. Volume is how loud you are. The easiest thing you can do is vary your volume based on when you want to make a point. So let's say, for example, you talk very low. Your audience needs to listen in and pay attention. But if you speak on a louder note, then people will pay attention because you have more energy and they'll hear you better. So try to stay towards the middle, but when you want to make a point, go to one of these extremes. Finally, timbre is the emotion behind your words. If the topic you're speaking about is boring to you, your audience will notice. They'll find you monotone and boring and won't listen at all. So be passionate about whatever you're speaking about and try to make it connected towards you and the audience. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. These are the 5 P's and they can be applied to any aspect of life. When it comes to public speaking, this can be something like preparing note cards for a speech you know you have coming up. But many times in life, we don't know when we have a speech coming up. A teacher assigns it the day before, or a boss, or you just see someone in public you want to go speak to. How will you then properly prepare? I'm going to tell you right now. To properly prepare, you need to focus on what you can control. You cannot control how the other person will react. You cannot control whether they're angry that day, whether they're bored that day, whether they're sad that day. But you can control everything we spoke about before. Your body language, your voice, your positive body language habits, taking away negative body language habits. You can control your breathing. There's a great video by Julian Fox, I believe, about public speaking and about breathing and warming up your voice. It's a great video and it should be linked in the description. If not, just search it up. Julian Treasure on YouTube. It's a great video, TED Talk. And I use that in one of my speeches as well, and it helped me immensely. So, you can control your thoughts as well. If you're thinking negatively and you're thinking about failing already before you even go speak, the way you speak will reflect that, as we spoke about before. So try to give yourself positive thoughts, control your thoughts, control your emotions, and control your breathing. So that's pretty much everything. If you found these 3 tips helpful, please leave a like and comment down below. And what can I improve in the next video? Thanks.